Welcome to the new episode, Andre with Eagle Express. Maybe we gotta hit the lights a little bit. Currently filling up on my way to Eugene, and this is Hermiston, Oregon. So I-82 first exit is the cheapest fuel that you will find along the way to Portland. This really is. Right now, $3.59 a gallon, and it's just going to get more and more expensive as we go closer to Portland. My pickup is like still 300 miles away, so I'm heading over there. Supposedly it's scheduled for tomorrow morning, but hey, if it's open and ready, then I might grab it even tonight. We'll see. The load itself delivers to Tequila, Washington. You guys already know that from the previous video, and if you haven't seen that one, you guys can watch that one too. But yeah, that's what I'm up to now. Getting filled up at the, little ghetto truck stop is what it is. Shell. But hey, it's called Crossroads Truck Stop. But you know what? All these dirty ones and all these nasty ones, they have the cheapest fuel versus like a Pilot or Flying J or Love's. This really is one of the cheapest places to fill up. It's actually the only one that I know of around here. So if you guys are going from Portland and say you're going towards, I don't know, eastbound somewhere, and you gotta fill up I-82, come to the Shell, and you guys will get your cheapest fuel around. I don't get paid. I don't get sponsored by this place. I'm just, free advice and free knowledge I'm providing for you guys. I wish that somebody could do that to me. Everything I do is just, me, myself, and I type of thing. That's how I learn. But wish somebody else could help me as much as I help you guys. So like and subscribe if you haven't yet. That will really help the channel out with the growth. Look at that. It's pumping slow. I'm kind of wondering. Usually when it's slow, the fuel is low, but there's no fuel trucks around here. So basically the trick is you don't want to fill up. That's the story. I don't know if it's true or not. You guys let me know, but maybe one of you guys who watches, or some of you guys are like tanker guys who actually bring fuel to the, to the truck stops or to gas stations. Let me know if it's true that it's not a good idea to fill up anywhere if fuel is being brought and pumped into the storage tanks at the gas stations. I heard that they brings up all the debris and all that kind of stuff and the things that are sitting at the bottom, and you don't want that because it goes in the pump and you pump it in your system. So I don't know if it's true or not. I heard things. I try not to, but maybe it's all fake. You tell me. If you guys know, let me know. Look at that. Love's $4.10 per gallon for diesel, and I just filled up for $3.59. 50 cents difference right on the spot. Just about maybe, I don't know what it's been, 15-20 miles from that place. And this is fake because you got to have a fuel card to get that price. That's not a real price. So a lot of people think they're going to get that price. They arrive to the gas station and fill up, and then that price is not that price, and you're stuck with it, because that means if those prices are for fuel card fill-ups for semi-trucks. So just like I explained to you guys, you got to understand that filling up at big major truck stops is not a, if your fuel is being covered by somebody else, then who cares, I guess. But hey, if you're the owner of the vehicle, you're driving under your own expense, it's best to save every nickel and dime you can while being on the road, because you guys never know. That's how you save. You make money by saving money as well. You're not just, some people have a wrong idea about being in business for yourself and thinking that everything is a write-off. Well, it is to a certain point, but then it's not. So still, even no matter how many write-offs you have, and no matter how big those write-offs are, it's still an expense that you don't want to have, because you want to lower your expenses to be able to make more money, and not just have write-offs and make whatever you're making and still be taxed. You know what I mean? It just doesn't. You don't want to go into that. Always want to be paying less if you can, especially for fuel, because that's our biggest expense as far as expediters go. And then, you know, maintenance, if you can do it yourself, why not? Because some people messaged me online saying that they're paying $500 to $700 for an oil change at the dealership for their vans, and I'm like, $500 to $700? Are you kidding me? I could do 4 oil changes for half a year almost, the way I drive, for that same price, doing it myself. It doesn't take long. You can do your oil change anywhere you're on the road. You can buy yourself a tub for the drain it in any parking lot, any truck stop, any rest area. You could, you know, crawl under the van, drain it, drain it, close the plug, put in your new oil, and then put the oil in your container that you got the new oil with, and you can take it to really any O'Reilly, AutoZone, whatever. They accept oil there as well, so you can hand off your oil if you don't want to throw it in the trash. But you could, you know, dispose of it however you want to dispose of it. And you don't have to pay ridiculous money for oil changes. That's out of this world. In my opinion, that's not smart thinking at all, to be paying that kind of rate for some oil change. Oil doesn't cost that much. Because I buy at the dealership at Mercedes, I just paid for it $120 for my oil, and the filter costs $10 at Napa. And I've been doing it this is the 3rd van. I've been changing the oil all by myself, all the time, every time, and not paying any kind of dealership or any other place to do it for me, because it's simple and easy to do it yourself. I mean, unless it's going to cost you cheaper than $130 altogether, then I guess you can go to a place, but you better make sure they're putting the right oil in there, the right grade, and everything else. Changing your filter, because you don't know what they're doing. If you're not watching them to change that filter, especially in a Sprinter van, then you don't know what they're doing, if they're really changing it or not. How do you know if they're changing it? Just because they said so and put it on paper? There's been times where my father actually went to a mechanic shop to have him replace some control arms under his vehicle, and paid him to do so. They supposedly did it, and he left, then got to I don't know where it was, whatever parking he was parking at, and looked under there, and only one of the 3 or 4 parts got changed. Everything else was still all old and rusty and everything else. So he tried calling them. They gave him some runaround. Then he went over there, and they were still giving him some runaround. So they charged him and didn't do 99% of the work. Can you believe it? As far as suspension goes, that's insane. So they just try to, you know, the shop manager was saying, well, it wasn't me who did the work, it was the worker. Where's your worker? And the worker is not answering the phone. He's already gone home for the day. And the next day the worker wasn't answering. It's like, you know what I mean? You never know what the heck is going on. You don't know what kind of scams these shops and other places are running, because a lot of times they won't even replace your oil filter. They'll just save money on that and keep it on their shelf, and then you think they replaced it, but they didn't. And in Sprinter vans, it's an enclosed oil filter, so you don't know if it's getting replaced or not. If you didn't do it yourself or watch them do it, you have no idea if they did it or not. Anyway, I'm going to finish my Panda. You guys can ponder on that. Hey everybody, already dark out. I'm here somewhere, but I don't know where I'm at. Basically, it picks up in some building that I need to find, but I don't know if I'll anyways, I'm gonna go walk around, see if I find anybody that could, you know, let me in here. I've done this many times before where you could kind of pick up at night, but I don't want to bother people and call my contacts and all that kind of stuff. It's after hours. It is a university, so, you know, I'm just gonna kind of check out where I need to be for morning time. And if I do find somebody there, great, and they can let me in, awesome. I'll just go grab it tonight. But if not, then it's okay. What are you gonna do? So I'm gonna go take a walk. Oh yeah, take a walk. It's nice and cold over here. I don't know. I think 36 or 34 degrees right now. So Eugene is getting cold as well. Found a building, or the building name anyways. All kinds of stuff here. University. It's in a science building, what I need. So I'm just gonna go drive around maybe the back part of it and see if maybe there's some kind of a loading dock, unloading dock, anything out there that maybe it could be sitting outside. If it is, then we might get the go-ahead from the broker to take it, or broker's dispatch. If not, then, you know, it is what it is. Morning time it is. So my building is right over there to the right, and I just want to drive kind of around and maybe... Okay. Man, it looks so familiar, like I've been here before. Anyway, I'm gonna keep looking around a little bit. I have been here before, but I don't know if I picked up right from that same exact building or not. Anyways, I'm just gonna loop around the back. If I find something great, not something, but exactly what I'm looking for. If not, then, you know, what are you gonna do? And then I could just, it looks like I could just come back and just park right over here, I think. Unless you need a permit, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, there's some buildings. There's some back of the buildings. I'm gonna go take one more quick walk and see. EMID permit required. Yeah, so it does require some kind of a permit still. Yeah, that looks like the building. Okay, one more walk and then I'm going back. Not back, but I'm gonna go probably find some place to eat. Oh, you guys can't see me, huh? Probably go find some place to eat. I'm thinking maybe some Applebee's, maybe some, you know, happy hour stuff. I don't know. Maybe they got some sales after 9. Usually it's 8:30 already. By the time I find one and, you know, get there, maybe I'll have something other than fast food and everything else. You guys know me. If you guys watch the channel, you guys know me that I try to avoid the fast food and the unhealthy food if possible, but it's not always possible. So I'll go walk, see if I can find this stuff maybe outside, sitting outside on a dock or somewhere. Like I said, I've got a contact, but I don't know. We've had a driver, actually 2 days ago, a driver called the contact like a day in advance. Basically, he got loaded a day in advance before, like over the weekend. Freight was sitting out there, and then he brought it. Well, he came into town a day in advance, or was coming, and then I was like, and they said to deliver on Tuesday, which I told him, hey, it doesn't, you know, it never hurts. We got a contact name. We know that only that contact could unload us. So I figured, hey, I told driver, if you want to, call them and just, you know, ask if they're ready for it earlier. If not, then it's okay. He did that, and guess what happened? He got mad. Broker heard about it, and broker told us that, hey, you can only deliver on, you know, whenever it's scheduled and this and that. Usually that's not the case with this stuff, but it was that one time, so I don't want to make him mad like all in one same week. We don't want to do that. If it's sitting outside, then I'll ask if I can get it. Morning. No luck unloading or loading last night because it's a university. Everything was closed. And then even this morning I couldn't get loaded until 9 o'clock because supposedly they come in whenever they feel like coming in, and it's not a regular scheduled time for somebody to be here. So I was out here trying to find somebody, something, anything. Let's see, how does this work without falling? Maybe like that. I was trying to find something, somebody. I was walking around that building everywhere, and there's only one way access in there to that specific spot. I've been here many years ago, so I found the lowest point in the ground to get loaded. Look how low I am to the ground. Look at this. I'm gonna stick my ramp and put it right there and go right up in here, so there's no what do you call it up here? See that big dip in the ground? So the ramp will go right there, and it'll just be a smooth sailing right in here. It's kind of what you want to find in a parking spot anyways when you're loading this stuff. That way, not pushing the heavy stuff way uphill, you know what I mean? Especially those of you who have that short ramp, the 6-foot ramp. This one's an 8-footer, but I'm going to be upgrading this, not to a 10-footer I don't think, but still another 8. Just got to get a different one because this thing has served me well, but it's time, you know what I mean? It's time. Morning. No luck unloading or loading last night because it's a university. Everything was closed. And then even this morning I couldn't get loaded until 9 o'clock because supposedly they come in whenever they feel like coming in, and it's not a regular scheduled time for somebody to be here. So I was out here trying to find somebody, something, anything. Let's see, how does this work without falling? Maybe like that. I was trying to find something, somebody. I was walking around that building everywhere, and there's only one way access in there to that specific spot. I've been here many years ago, so I found the lowest point in the ground to get loaded. Look how low I am to the ground. Look at this. I'm gonna stick my ramp and put it right there and go right up in here, so there's no what do you call it up here? See that big dip in the ground? So the ramp will go right there, and it'll just be a smooth sailing right in here. It's kind of what you want to find in a parking spot anyways when you're loading this stuff. That way, not pushing the heavy stuff way uphill, you know what I mean? Especially those of you who have that short ramp, the 6-foot ramp. This one's an 8-footer, but I'm going to be upgrading this, not to a 10-footer I don't think, but still another 8. Just got to get a different one because this thing has served me well, but it's time, you know what I mean? It's time. Alright, no, this is 450, but it's easily movable. Now I just gotta move it. I guess easy if you can do it, not so easy if you can't do it. Usually I don't like doing that, but they gotta get it out with their forklift, so throw a couple straps on and we're good. On out of here. Tequila, Washington from here. I haven't even done my miles. I'll add them up and then I'll tell you guys what they are. Well, complete delivery. $2:49 p.m. After chit-chatting a little bit with the boys at receiving here in Tequila. 50, well, it was 52 to 54 along the way here. And at home, on camera, it looked like we had snow. I'll pull that up and see what it shows, if we still have snow there or not. But snow. Besides that, trip went good. Just gotta fill up along the way on my way back, and that's it. Not waiting for anything here. It is a Friday, and yes, here's the snow. Let's see what we do this way. You guys see that? A little bit of snow there, which is not a big deal. It is winter time. What are you gonna do? It's December. It's only not winter over here on the coast, on the west side of Washington State. But hey, I remember that one last year's storm in Portland, the whole ice storm and all that. That was a disaster for those guys, and it was a little bit of a disaster here as well. A little bit of a disaster. Portland got hit the most with that. And some of the, and like Salem, part of Eugene and all that. Yes, 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 they did. Ooh. Feeling tired. You know why? Because I've been sitting all day. Sitting all day yesterday, and then got there, went to go eat. Shouldn't have ate that much. Actually ended up going to Applebee's last night. Ate some there, and then they had appetizers for half off, and I had some of that French, whatever you call it, French artichoke dip, and some boneless wings, which technically I could have just not even eaten at all, but I felt like going over there, and I felt like maybe having ribs there, because the ribs are usually good, and then I didn't, when I was sitting there, I'm like, well, I just go with the dip. I did the dip, and then, felt like maybe I, appetizered myself, but then I still need some kind of a something else meal. And then by the time I ate and was out of there, I was, so tired that I just laid down and just passed right out. It was simple and easy pass out for me. And that's what I was thinking about. Like, yeah, I did wait, not really. I had some Panda along the way that was in Pasco, and then after that, it was still another like a 4-hour drive or so, about 4 hours. No, more. After that, that's only to Portland, and then it was still, anyways, it was still a drive. So I just held back, waited. That's what I used to do, is only really eat maybe like really lightly once when I was over the road, and then I would have a big dinner, a decent dinner, decent meal, or like snack, a little bit of snacks along the way, and then big dinner, for the night, and go to bed, and then do the same thing over again, and all that kind of stuff. But the older you get, the harder it is to keep that fat off, especially when you got a sit down job and you're doing this sitting down, or sitting in the office and then doing partly this. You know what I mean? It's kind of gets to you after a little while, and now it's harder to lose it, because a guy like me is already 40 years old. So when you're in the 40s, I started noticing you just have to exercise. Basically, that's what it is. I just got to get back into the drop a bit, get back into exercising, and it will all be just peachy. Because without exercise, I don't know, I just feel all lazy now. I guess the level of when you get older, you start feeling like, whatever, you know what I mean? You want to lay around on the couch, when you're done with work, you just want to do nothing, whole lot of nothing. And it just kind of feels that way, that's how things should be. But if you let them get that way, then you start, having extra here, a little bit extra everywhere where you don't need it. So exercise is the key. And for you guys, like for me, it's harder in a way, because I'm not over the road 100% full time. I'm just, basically part time on the road to show you guys what's going on here, how to do this, what it's like, and also provide you guys with knowledge from the dispatch side as well. But you know, when you're doing the work that I do, it's, you know what I mean, very often 4 a.m. until, you know, 7, 8, 9 p.m. and you don't want to do anything else after that. And a lot of times when you're up at 4 a.m. and you're doing work, by noon it's already foggy in your brain, or even a little before that. Your brain's already, you know, feels like you're in the fog and underwater. That's how it feels. Like you've already been, you know, taken through the ringer. Well, that's just my sob story to you guys. Not that you care, right? Maybe, yes, no. A lot of other dispatchers that, if there's any dispatchers that watch this and that, you know, start their day that early and end it that late, I'm sure you guys feel the same exact way. I'm sure it's not any kind of a surprise for you guys. Got to check the pass. I don't know if they have snow there or not, or if there's any restrictions. Let's take a look. Washington DOT is the app that I use, and then you can check all the passes. Snow quality, no restrictions. Pass report, temperature 25 degrees, elevation 3,000 feet, 3,022 feet. Let's check the cameras, and they look good. Look at this. And you can even see the time. It doesn't do a live camera, but it takes snaps of whatever, you know, whatever's going on over there. An actual snap pictures, and you can see that the road is bare, pretty much bare and dry. Really beautiful. Look at all that. Yes. The app is called WSDOT. WSDOT. And on here, it's not just all about mountain passes. You can also pretty much look at DOT cameras all over Washington State. Any intersection that has a DOT camera, you can actually go in there and watch them. So that's something you guys can check the weather or check traffic or whatever you want to check. You can check Washington State. I'm sure probably I don't really go into Idaho much. I mean, I do, but I don't, and I don't really care. So I never really look around at their stuff because I don't have any closures in the passes that I got to worry about. It's mostly this pass. Same thing with Lookout Pass in Montana. They take care of it so well that they never really have it closed down unless there's an accident, until they would clear it up, and that's a rare occasion as well, so you don't have to worry about any of that. Just giving you guys some really good inside information, something that hopefully helps you guys see things ahead of time, figure them out. And if you guys have been following the channel and watching, you guys know that Washington State loves their business as far as writing people tickets for not having chains. They'll, as soon as it starts snowing up there, they do a chains required thing. Pretty much that guarantees you to put your chains on. If you're not an all-wheel drive vehicle, then you have to put chains on. Even if you're in cars, doesn't matter. Even if you have snow tires on, it doesn't matter. So chains required, and you're going to be required to wear chains. If you don't, the ticket that I received probably 6 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, whatever it was, however much it was $500 back then, and you cannot do anything with that ticket. Like it's one of those kind of tickets that you can't get a lawyer for or go to court for or whatever. It's non-removable. It's not like a speeding ticket that if you get a lawyer and this and that, you can get it down to like a seatbelt violation or something like that, or whatever it is, or cell phone, something that doesn't go on your record, but that one does go on your record and stays on there, and you can't do anything about it. So don't get those. And if you guys are in a van and you are going to be traveling through Washington State to Seattle, or from Seattle outbound, eastbound, then you guys got to remember that you got to have something in your van, maybe snow socks or whatever, chains. I did chains, and then I bought snow socks on Amazon. You know what a snow sock is? It's basically something quick to come that works exactly like a chain, or satisfies. Basically, it doesn't work exactly like chains, but it'll satisfy the DOT people that are out there to make money for the state. So this just goes right over. It's a material really thick. I'll do a review on this stuff sometime, but really thick material, good quality. You put this on and pretty much can go like up to 30, I don't know, something around 30 miles an hour versus doing like 10, 15 on chains, because chains can really mess your stuff up. If a chain breaks loose, or if you're going too fast and it comes undone, brake lines, your fender liner, everything's going to come off. With this stuff, you know, I don't know exactly. And I don't see much of these laying around on the side of the road either, but chains, I do see a lot of chains. A lot of semis lose their chains as well. So something to think about for you guys. Something to think about. God bless. Take care. We'll see you guys next time when we see each other. And if you haven't subscribed yet, that's my biggest support, is if you guys could subscribe to the channel. That'll give me more motivation to put out more videos, and the algorithm goes up and more views. You know the basics, you know what I mean? You guys know the drill.